Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Expensive Coins History channel. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating story of a coin that many people in Malaysia might still have tucked away somewhere at home, the 1992 Malaysian 10-sen coin. At first glance, it looks like just another small piece of everyday change. But once you understand its background, its minting details, its rarity in higher grades, and how collectors view it today, you'll see why it continues to attract attention among coin enthusiasts and why some people wonder whether it might actually be worth more than its face value in 2025. So stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll know the complete story of this coin, from its origins and design to its value trends and collector appeal today. To truly appreciate any coin, we must first look back at the history behind it. The Malaysian 10-sen coin is part of the country's long-running second coin series, introduced during the late 1980s after the redesign that modernized Malaysia's circulating currency. The coins of this series were produced under the authority of Bank Negara Malaysia, the central bank of the country, which oversees the nation's coinage and ensures the accuracy and stability of its denominations. The 10-sen coin from 1992 was made of a copper-nickel alloy, a durable metal composition that allows coins to survive decades of circulation without losing too much detail. It has a diameter of approximately 19.4 millimeters, a weight of a little under 3 grams, and features a reeded edge. These coins were struck without any mint mark, as all Malaysian coins from that era were produced at the National Mint in Shah Alam. The obverse side of the coin carries the official inscription, Bank Negara Malaysia, surrounding the national hibiscus flower design, the proud symbol of Malaysia. Below it, the denomination, 10-sen, appears clearly along with the date, 1992. The reverse continues the simple, elegant style consistent with Malaysia's coinage tradition, practical, easily recognizable, and culturally meaningful. The 1992 issue marked a period of high production for Malaysian coinage. During the early 1990s, Malaysia's economy was booming, and as a result, demand for coins in daily commerce was high. Millions of 10-sen coins were struck and released into circulation, making them a common sight in shops and markets across the nation. Now, let's talk about rarity, the factor that most collectors are interested in. The 1992 10-sen coin is not considered rare in general circulation. Millions were minted, and for many years, they were still found in people's change. However, what makes this coin interesting is not necessarily its basic version, but rather how few examples remain in truly uncirculated condition. Most of these coins have spent over 3 decades in circulation. They've been handled thousands of times, exposed to humidity, scratches, and natural wear. Because of this, finding a coin that still has full original luster, sharp details, and no visible wear can be surprisingly difficult. That's where the rarity lies. Not in the mintage numbers themselves, but in the preservation of pristine examples. Collectors often prize coins that represent a specific year in flawless condition. For Malaysian coins, this is particularly true for the early 1990 series, as uncirculated examples are much scarcer than their high mintages might suggest. So while the average circulated 1992 10-sen coin is easy to find, a high-grade uncirculated specimen is considerably harder to come across and can attract attention among serious Malaysian numismatists. There's also curiosity about potential minting variations or errors. Some collectors actively look for double strikes, off-center strikes, planchet flaws, or die rotations. While no major, widely recognized mint error is associated with the 1992 10-sen coin, it's always worth inspecting each coin closely, because such errors can significantly increase the value and desirability among collectors. Let's move on to the topic everyone wants to know, the value of the 1992 Malaysian 10-sen coin today. In ordinary circulated condition, meaning the coin has clear signs of wear, light scratches, or dull surfaces, its value remains close to its face value. These are still quite common and are often sold in bulk by collectors or dealers. However, as the condition improves, the value increases. Coins in extremely fine or about uncirculated condition, with only slight wear visible, may be worth a few Malaysian ringgit each, depending on the buyer and the coin's overall eye appeal. Coins that have been carefully preserved or stored in protective holders since the 1990s can be valued higher, especially if they retain full mint shine, uncirculated or mint state examples, particularly those that would grade above MS60 on an international grading scale, can command noticeably higher prices. In 2025, a pristine uncirculated example might sell for anywhere between RM10 to RM50, depending on demand, condition, and whether it has been professionally graded by a coin certification company. For collectors outside Malaysia, the coin can also attract international attention due to its aesthetic design and cultural importance. As global interest in Southeast Asian numismatics continues to grow, prices for coins like this one have been slowly trending upward. Now, it's important to remember that coin values are not static. They depend on collector demand, general market trends, and the condition of the specific coin being sold. While some sellers may list these coins online for very high prices, actual realized sales, meaning what people really pay, tend to stay within a modest range. The real value of this coin comes from its historical significance and collectability, not just monetary potential. Many online posts and videos often claim that old Malaysian coins, including the 1992 10-sen coin, are worth thousands. But the truth is a little more grounded. While it's true that older coins can gain value over time, their worth depends on clear, measurable factors: condition, rarity, and demand. The 1992 10-sen coin is certainly collectible, but in most cases, it won't make you rich overnight. The majority of circulated examples are still fairly common, and their value in 2025 remains modest. However, that doesn't mean they're worthless. If you have one that's never been used, with full shine and no wear, or if you discover an unusual variation or mint error, that specific coin could indeed be worth significantly more than average. In essence, while the 1992 10-sen coin might not be a jackpot, it remains a piece of Malaysian history. A small yet enduring reminder of the country's numismatic evolution and national identity. If you have a 1992 10-sen coin at home, there are a few things you can do to assess and protect it. First, examine the coin under good lighting. Look for the clarity of the design, check whether the hibiscus flower, the text, and the number 10 remain crisp and defined. If you see scratches, dullness, or a flat appearance, that indicates circulation wear. If the coin still looks shiny, with mirror-like luster, you may have a higher grade piece. Next, weigh the coin if possible. The standard weight should be around 2.8 grams. Significant deviations might indicate damage or tampering. Never clean the coin, as cleaning can easily ruin its surface and drastically reduce its collectible value. Instead, store it in a soft holder, capsule, or plastic sleeve designed for coins, away from moisture or extreme temperatures. If you believe your coin might be in exceptional condition, consider professional grading from a trusted grading service. This can help confirm its authenticity, assign an accurate grade, and make it more attractive to serious buyers or collectors. So, to summarize, the 1992 Malaysian 10-sen coin without a mint mark represents a fascinating period in Malaysia's coinage history. While it's not an extremely rare coin by mintage, its true value lies in condition, preservation, and collector demand. In 2025, typical circulated examples are modestly priced, but well-preserved uncirculated coins can fetch much higher prices from collectors who appreciate their quality and beauty. For most people, finding one of these coins is like uncovering a small piece of Malaysian history, a tangible connection to the country's vibrant economic and cultural growth during the early 1990s. It may not make you wealthy, but it certainly adds richness to your collection and tells a story worth remembering. The 1999 no-mint mark Malaysian 1-sen coin. At first glance, this tiny copper-colored coin might look ordinary or even worthless, but as we'll discover today, its story, history, and collector interest tell a much richer tale. We will explore how it came to be, what makes it special, how rare it truly is, and how much it's actually worth in the year 2025. To understand the 1999 1-sen coin, we must first go back to the roots of Malaysia's modern coinage. Malaysia introduced its second series of coins in the late 1980s under the direction of Bank Negara Malaysia, the central bank. This series was intended to modernize the look of Malaysian currency and to reflect national identity through distinctive design elements. The 1-sen coin from this series featured two key symbols. On one side, the obverse carried the face value along with the image of the traditional Malay musical drum known as the rebana ubi. On the reverse, it displayed the national flower, the hibiscus, known locally as bunga raya. This flower symbolizes unity, strength, and beauty, representing the nation's cultural harmony. By the late 1990s, Malaysia's economy was growing rapidly, and millions of low-denomination coins were struck for everyday transactions. The 1999 issue of the 1 sen coin was one of the final years before major changes were made to the smaller denominations in the following decade. Each coin was produced in large quantities to meet the needs of daily commerce across the country. The 1999 1 sen coin was struck from copper-clad steel, giving it its distinctive reddish tone. It weighed around 1.8 grams and measured approximately 17.6 millimeters in diameter. The edges were plain, with a simple yet functional appearance. Despite being a low-value coin, the design work was elegant and detailed, displaying Malaysia's national identity in a small but meaningful form. Over the years, these coins have aged differently. Some have developed a beautiful natural patina, while others have retained their copper shine when kept in good condition. One of the main reasons this coin attracts attention from collectors is the fact that it carries no mint mark. For many collectors, the absence of a mint mark might immediately suggest rarity or a special issue. However, in the case of Malaysia's coinage, most standard circulation coins were produced without any mint mark at all. The 1999 1 sen coin was struck at Malaysia's primary mint facility in Shah Alam, and the lack of a mint mark simply indicates that it was a regular production coin. Therefore, the phrase, "no mint mark," does not refer to an error or a rare variant. It merely denotes the standard version that was officially released for general circulation. The mintage of the 1999 1 sen coin was very high, with hundreds of millions of coins produced. The reason behind this was straightforward. 1 sen coins were used extensively in daily transactions during that time, especially in small purchases, bus fares, and markets. Because of this mass production, the 1999 1 sen coin is not considered rare in the absolute sense. However, the true challenge for collectors today is finding one in mint state condition, a coin that has never been circulated and still carries its original shine, luster, and sharp details. Most of these coins were used in everyday life, and over time, heavy wear, scratches, and corrosion have reduced the number of pristine examples that survive. When assessing rarity in numismatics, mintage numbers are only part of the story. A coin can be common in terms of production but rare in high grades. The 1999 1 sen coin fits this description perfectly. Most of the surviving examples are heavily circulated, often dull in color, with significant surface wear. Clean, uncirculated specimens are becoming harder to find, and collectors are now more willing to pay a premium for coins that remain in mint or near mint condition. This is especially true among Malaysian collectors who are passionate about completing full-year sets of the country's coins. While not rare in the traditional sense, the coin has a growing nostalgic appeal. For many Malaysians, the 1 sen coin represents a piece of everyday history, a reminder of a time when small change still had practical use. Now let's talk about what everyone wants to know: the coin's value today. As of 2025, the 1999 no mint mark Malaysian 1 sen coin is generally considered a common issue, and in circulated condition, it typically holds minimal monetary value. A typical worn example may only be worth its face value or slightly above that to casual collectors. However, uncirculated coins, those that have never been used and are preserved in mint condition, can be worth noticeably more. Depending on the coin's condition, its shine, and its preservation, collectors might pay between 1 to 5 Malaysian ringgit for a nice example. In some cases, coins graded by professional services or found in proof-like condition could sell for 10 to 20 ringgit or slightly higher, especially if they exhibit strong details and original copper color. Coins with visible minting errors such as off-center strikes, double dies, or planchet defects can sometimes fetch much higher prices. But these are extremely uncommon and must be verified by an expert before being considered genuine. Compared to other years in the same series, the 1999 1 sen coin does not stand out as a key date. Some earlier years saw lower production numbers, while later years introduced changes in material and design. However, the 1999 issue does mark one of the final years before Malaysia began phasing out the 1 sen coin from active circulation, which adds a historical note of significance to collectors interested in full series sets. If you wish to collect or sell your 1999 once-in coin, there are a few important points to remember. First, handle your coins carefully. Fingerprints and oils can damage the delicate copper surface. Store them in protective holders or coin flips to prevent corrosion. Avoid cleaning your coins, as this can greatly reduce their collector value. Second, pay close attention to condition. The numismatic community places high importance on eye appeal. Even a slight difference in condition can greatly affect the value. Coins that are bright, original, and well-preserved always attract stronger demand. Lastly, keep an eye on market trends. As older Malaysian coins gradually leave circulation, interest in them tends to increase over time. The sentimental and historical value often grows even if the face value remains the same. Looking ahead, the once-in coin from 1999 may continue to appreciate modestly, especially for high-grade specimens. As Malaysia's newer generations grow more distant from the days when these coins were in everyday use, nostalgia and cultural memory will continue to drive collector interest. While it is unlikely that this coin will ever reach the extreme prices sometimes rumored online, its symbolic value and collectible charm make it a worthwhile addition to any Malaysian coin collection. Coins preserved in perfect condition today could become significantly more desirable in the future, especially as the supply of untouched examples diminishes. So, what have we learned about the 1999 no-mint mark Malaysian once-in coin? It is a humble piece of currency that tells a much larger story, a story about Malaysia's growth, culture, and economy during a dynamic era. Though its monetary worth is small, its historical and sentimental value are far greater. For collectors, it represents an affordable and meaningful entry point into Malaysian numismatics. For casual enthusiasts, it serves as a reminder of the everyday change that once passed through millions of hands. If you have one of these coins in your possession, take a closer look at it, check its condition, admire its design, and consider keeping it as part of your personal collection. You never know how time might change its significance in years to come. The 2001 no-mint mark 10-sen coin. Many people have been wondering if this small piece of metal is truly rare, how much it's worth, and why it's gaining attention in recent years. So in this video, we're going to explore its complete story, from its history and production to its rarity, collector demand, and its true market value in 2025. Stay tuned until the end because I'll also share some expert tips on identifying valuable variations and protecting your collection. To understand the 2001 10-sen coin, we need to step back and look at Malaysia's coinage system during that era. This coin was part of the second series of Malaysian circulation coins, which began in the late 1980s and continued until 2011. It was issued by Bank Negara Malaysia, the country's central bank, and minted in Shah Alam. The coin's composition is a copper-nickel alloy, giving it a silvery color and good resistance to wear. It weighs about 2.82 grams, has a diameter of approximately 19 millimeters, and features a reeded edge. On the obverse side, you'll find the inscription Bank Negara Malaysia along the upper rim, with the denomination 10 sen in the center, and the year 2001 placed below. The national flower of Malaysia, the hibiscus, is beautifully engraved as part of the design, symbolizing national pride and beauty. On the reverse side, the design remains simple and elegant, representing a stable and modern Malaysia moving confidently into the new millennium. Now, let's clarify something that causes confusion among many collectors: the phrase, no mint mark. In some countries, mint marks are used to identify where a coin was made, often represented by small letters or symbols. However, in Malaysia, most standard circulation coins from this period were produced without mint marks. That means if your 2001 10-sen coin doesn't have any small letter or symbol indicating a mint, that is completely normal. It's the standard issue. That being said, there have been instances in numismatics where a missing mint mark becomes valuable, but only when other coins from the same year normally have one. For the Malaysian 10-sen coin of 2001, this is not generally the case. The no mint mark label simply means it was produced in Malaysia's main minting facility and not as part of a separate or special issue. The year 2001 was part of Malaysia's high production period for circulation coins. Millions of 10-sen coins were minted that year to meet everyday transaction demand. As the economy was expanding and the use of coins was still widespread, this means that Unlike rare commemorative or low mintage issues, the 2001 coin was quite common in daily circulation. Over time, however, many of these coins have been lost, damaged, or melted down, leaving fewer examples in top-quality condition. This is why condition now plays such a major role in determining value. A coin in uncirculated or mint state can be several times more valuable than one that has been used for years. While the 2001 10-cent coin was not originally intended as a rare piece, it still holds appeal among collectors for a few reasons. First, it represents the final phase of the pre-2011 Malaysian coin series before the country transitioned to a newer design. That gives it historical context within Malaysia's modern monetary evolution. Second, because many circulated examples are now worn or corroded, high-grade specimens are much less common than they once were. Collectors searching for complete year sets of Malaysian coins value well-preserved examples from every year, and the 2001 issue fills an important spot in that collection. Third, error coins, such as those struck off-center, double-stamped, or missing edge details, can command significant premiums. Genuine minting errors are always sought after because they are unintentional and relatively scarce. So while the regular 2001 10-cent coin is not rare by mintage numbers, certain variations and pristine examples can be quite desirable. Let's break down the key factors that influence the price of this coin in the collector market. Condition or grade. This is the most important factor. Coins graded as circulated are usually worth only slightly above their face value, very fine or extremely fine. Coins may command modest premiums. Uncirculated or mint state coins, especially if they are shiny and flawless, can fetch significantly higher prices. Error or variety. Coins with visible minting mistakes can be worth many times more than standard issues. Examples include double strikes, off-center designs, or misaligned die errors. Market demand. Coin collecting trends fluctuate. When Malaysian coins gain international attention, values can rise. Metal condition. Because the 10-cent is made of copper-nickel, exposure to humidity or salt can cause discoloration. Clean, bright coins are more valuable than dull or corroded ones. Certification. Coins graded by professional numismatic authorities and sealed in protective holders often sell at higher prices because buyers trust their authenticity and condition. Now for the question everyone wants answered. How much is the 2001 no-mint mark Malaysian 10-cent coin worth in 2025? In 2025. Standard circulated examples of this coin generally hold a value close to face value, or slightly higher to collectors. Assembling full sets. That means it may trade for between a few Malaysians and up to about 1 ringgit if it is in normal used condition. However, uncirculated or mint state examples, coins that look as though they have just left the mint, can command anywhere from 5 to 30 ringgit, depending on how flawless they are and the buyer's interest. Error coins or unique die variations can bring significantly more. Some collectors have paid much higher prices for verified error strikes, especially those authenticated by experts. So while this coin is not automatically worth a fortune, its value can rise dramatically under the right circumstances, especially for high-grade, well-preserved, or documented error pieces. From an investment standpoint, the 2001 10-cent coin represents a fascinating opportunity for entry-level collectors. Its affordability allows new collectors to begin building a Malaysian series collection without major expense, and because it is over 2 decades old, pristine examples are gradually becoming harder to find. As with many modern coins, value growth will depend on future collector demand, population reports, and overall market trends. If interest in Southeast Asian numismatics continues to grow, the 2001 series coins could appreciate in value over the next decade, particularly in top-graded condition. Therefore, if you have a 2001 10-cent coin in perfect shape, it may be worth holding onto it as part of a complete Malaysian set or future investment piece. To maximize the long-term value of your coin, here are some important care and preservation tips. Never clean your coin using chemicals or polishing tools, as this can permanently damage the surface and reduce value. Store it in a protective holder or coin capsule to prevent scratches and exposure to air. Handle it only by the edges and avoid touching the faces, since skin oils can cause discoloration over time. Keep it in a cool, dry environment away from humidity and direct sunlight. For serious collectors, use professional grading and encapsulation to preserve authenticity and quality over time. Following these simple steps will help you maintain your coins. beauty and protect its market value for years to come. A common misunderstanding is that every 2001 10-cent coin without a mint mark is automatically a rare treasure worth hundreds or even thousands. This is not true. The lack of a mint mark is standard for that year. Only coins with documented errors or exceptional condition carry significant premiums. Another misconception is that old coins always increase in value. Age alone does not make a coin valuable. Scarcity, demand, and condition are the main factors. Collectors should also be cautious of online claims or listings that exaggerate values. Always compare with verified sales and use trusted dealers when buying or selling coins. To summarize, the 2001 no mint mark Malaysian 10-cent coin is an important piece of Malaysia's modern numismatic history. While it may not be exceptionally rare, it still holds charm, historical significance, and collectible appeal, especially in top condition. Its true value depends on grade, rarity of condition, and collector interest, with average examples remaining modestly priced but pristine or error coins attracting premium prices in 2025. If you find this coin in your collection or your change, take a moment to check its condition carefully. You might just have a beautiful uncirculated example that's worth holding onto for the future. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2001 Malaysian 10-cent coin, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more coin collecting videos, and share this video with other numismatic enthusiasts. Drop your questions in the comments below. I'd love to hear what rare coins you found or collected. Until next time, keep exploring, keep collecting, and as always, treasure the history in every coin you hold.